All right, we got China trade decisions, we got rate cut decisions, all kinds of decisions that should have the market excited. And it is, but it's also hesitant at the same time. Let's talk about why. So the Fed decided to cut interest rates by a quarter point, which has a lot of people excited that want to buy houses right now. But at the same time, the Fed also said the rate cut that they were going to do in December as well might not happen. So a lot of investors were already planning on the rate cut, both rate cuts for October and December. And if they only get one out of the two, it makes people more cautious. And there's just a lot of lack of data right now, especially with the government being shut down, mass layoffs happening. So the Fed is trying not to get ahead of themselves with guaranteeing another rate cut in December. And so that makes a lot of investors just more cautious than anything, even though the rate cut was good news yesterday. And we also got China trade talk decisions where Trump and Xi decided to lower the tariffs by about 10%, so that they're still going to have higher tariffs, just not as high as they were going to be. They decided China's going to be ordering soybeans from the U.S. again. And that was good news as far as trade talks goes. That's what a lot of investors wanted to see. But at the same time, the market still started selling off today between the rate cuts and the China news because it was only like a half meeting. They didn't discuss some of the bigger things like they were supposed to, as far as, if we're going to be selling them microchips, Nvidia chips, the good Nvidia chips. So it was only basically a half deal. So we got, tariff reduction and all that, but investors wanted the full picture to see if this was just good news for today with China and then have it fall off next week. So if anything, a lot of investors are being optimistic right now because it didn't make a lot of sense. They didn't discuss everything. So yeah, the market's real mixed today. On top of that, it's October, which is a weak month in general anyways, since a lot of people do what's called tax harvesting. So if they're down on one of their stock holdings a lot, they'll actually take a loss on it so they can actually use that to give them tax benefits in the new year, which is why October usually pulls back, and then November, December is more optimistic. Of course, we have more than usual going on at the end of this year, so we'll see how that plays out. So yeah, this should be a strong week, but the market's at all-time highs in general anyways. So I didn't take much to have a pullback because the market's basically overheated. So it actually needs to settle down a bit, and there's too much undecided, like things that still need to be figured out, especially going into November. And the biggest thing to pay attention to that actually kind of dampened the market running up after the rate cut was a lot of people don't know the top stocks known as the Mag 7 are what drives a lot of the S&P 500 to its all-time highs. So one of the main stocks in that, Nvidia, actually had a huge investor day the other day where they explained their rollout of everything they're going to be doing in the future, which had a lot of investors excited and had Nvidia just ramping up. It broke to a new all-time high itself right before the rate cut. So that was it kind of stole the momentum of the actual rate cut. So after it hit all-time highs, like all the strong stocks like that do, they can only go so high. They got to pull back a little bit. So that was kind of the thing. Like, I think if Nvidia would have had their investor day on the same day as a rate cut, it might have actually helped keep things positive today or yesterday too. But since it was right before, it kind of stole its thunder. So that's 3 reasons why the market is kind of going down to sideways right now. And that is your stock market news explained. This is the first episode, and I intend to keep you informed as much as possible, trying to put everything in basic language. And till the next episode.